Okay, so you should have already done the activity about your artist statement. Okay, and that's generally the trickier part between these two kinds of statements that people sometimes ask for. So, for a lot of different kinds of applications, you'll need an artist statement, which is more about your work and about you as an artist. And then sometimes they'll also want a bio or a biographical statement. And sometimes they'll want those two combined. So once you have both of them, it's kind of easy to adjust it to whatever you might need for any kind of application. Generally speaking, the difference between a biographical statement or a bio and an artist statement is the bio is really kind of just you, your credentials, the kind of things you'd find on a CV or resume, sort of, but written, narratively. And then also a little bit about you personally and about yourself as an artist, but less focused on your work and more just kind of about who you are. Okay. So for this is generally easier to write than the artist statement for most people. What I want you to do is think about the kind of information that makes you makes up your resume or your CV, talking about yourself professionally, like you're applying for an academic program or a residency or a job in the art world or an exhibition. Sometimes galleries ask for bio statements to go along with your artist statement. And so what I want you to do is just kind of write about yourself. These are generally pretty short, like 250 words, maybe 500 words on the long end. So I want you to write things like, where are you from? Did you move around a lot? If you did, if that's something kind of like where you come from is one of the things. What is your education? Which write this like you're now, not like projecting into the future. So pursuing a associate arts degree in fine arts or pursuing, I think at least one of you is also enrolled at MSU. So pursuing a BA or a BFA or whatever you're doing in sculpture or whatever at Missouri State and taking classes at OTC. Something like this. Okay. So talking a little bit about your education and talking about where you're from. And then really identifying yourself as a professional. So what do you do? Are you a sculptor? Are you a ceramicist? Are you a graphite artist? Are you a painter? Are you a digital artist? Are you an illustrator? So talking about where you're from, what your educational background is, what you do, what kind of art you make, but not as much like the concept and stuff, more just what you physically do. And then some of the other things that you can put in there are professional kinds of experience. Do you have experience working in a field related to art? Do you have a day job that is not related to art? So maybe you have an active artist practice, but for your day job you do marketing or something, something like that. So these can fluctuate quite a lot, but a lot of times they're just like basic information about you and who you are, and kind of what your deal is. Okay. You can also include a little bit of personal information, maybe something like you live in the Ozarks with your partner and your three cats. Maybe you are also have a writing practice. So in addition to being a visual artist, you're also a writer. Maybe you are a activist of some kind, anything like that. But just kind of about who you are and what you do to give this kind of information. And again, this will be shorter than your artist statement. Okay. And for right now, since you're all in school, there won't be, you maybe haven't had as many experiences yet in terms of publishing work or exhibiting work. This might be particularly brief. If you have exhibited your work, that's something to include here. So recent exhibitions include my work being shown in the student showcase in December at OTC, or my work being in Watercolor USA at the Springfield Art Museum, or if you've shown your work somewhere, or if it's been published online or on paper, that's the kind of thing that you can include here as well. If you've done a artist residency somewhere, you can include that in this, but basically just kind of talking about who you are, and giving a little bit of that background information about yourself. Okay, so write this Like I said, it can be fairly brief. And this we're just going to work on in class. So we're not going to do the whole discussion editing thing because these are a little bit more straightforward, and I'll help you with them in class. All right, good deal. I look forward to reading them.